What's up, guys? TechRage, Danny. This is TechRage. I'm Danny, and today I'm going to be showing you a open source application. I would say it's a Play Store alternative for open source apps. Right now, this is pretty much like the kitchen sink. It's pretty much like the holy grail when it comes to open source apps for Android. Right now, before I go right into this, guys, I just wanted to mention I'm really happy with what happened with the last video. My Zorin OS 12 overview. It has really helped my channel. It's actually my most viewed video currently. You'll see here. Right, yeah, it's my first video that went over 1,000 views. Now it's my first video that went over 1,500 views, and soon it'll be my first video that goes over 2,000 views. So I'm really happy about that. Just within the span of 2 weeks, it's my most highly grossed video in terms of views. So I'm really happy about that. Thanks, guys. I'm really glad that I can provide information for you guys, that you guys can benefit from. And that's pretty much the whole point of this channel, right? It's to help you guys. It's to provide resources, apps, stuff that I use, stuff that I think can benefit others, so that's the whole point of this. And I'm really happy you guys like it. So awesome. And yeah, if you have any questions, leave the comments down below. Right now, going right into the segment. Now, if you like open source applications, I really highly suggest for you guys to check out my previous 2 videos to this segment. My first one being uBlock Origin, which is a open source alternative extension for your web browsers to AdBlock Plus. Now, it's really cool. It works on Firefox and Chrome, and it's cross-platform, so it works on Windows, Mac, Android, and I believe iOS, and of course Linux. And also after that, I uploaded a video right here for Google Play Music desktop player, so it's really neat. Really suggest for you to check that out if you like listening to music on your desktop, whether it's Windows, Mac, and of Linux. You can install it. Really neat. There's customization features and a lot more. I really suggest for you guys to check that out. I go into all of that, so feel free to click those. So, going right into it, right? The app that I'm going to be showing you today is called F-Droid. So I'm going to bring this up here. Right, now, if this matters to you, I'm running this phone. Well, my phone is running on Oxygen OS 6.0 Marshmallow, so I don't know if it matters, but there you go. My phone is rooted, just letting you know, FYI. And yeah, let's go right into it. Right, so it's this little app here, and of course I'll be leaving the links to the source code, as well as to where to download the APK file, which is the application file, right? Because you can't install this through the Play Store. So I'll be providing you that, as well as to the home page of what F-Droid is about. And yeah, so we'll go right into it. Right, so once you open this up, you'll have 3 tabs. The first tab being available, and as you saw there, right, I was navigating between the categories here. Right, so the very first category you'll find is what's new. Right, so these apps are the newly introduced apps that were ported into F-Droid. Right, so let me open this one here, which I thought was pretty neat. This is called Asteroid OS Sync. You see here, you got a brief description of what it's about. Synchronize the time, notifications, and more with your Asteroid OS smartwatch. So that's pretty neat. Don't know which smartwatches use Asteroid OS, but hey, if you have one, here's an open source app for you. Right, so one thing I really like about this app is that it provides an abundance of information, information that you should know. It really embodies the uniqueness and the the great qualities to what open source is, right? It provides all the essentials. So what I mean is, you see, if I go under here where it says links, now I have access to the source code. If I click here, it'll send me to a link that'll send, you know, to its page, so I can view the source code myself. Also, you'll see here bugs that are reported. So if you've come across some sort of issue, and if you want to see if it's reported or not, you can, or if you want to see if it's reported, you can click here under issues, as well as to their homepage if they have a website. You'll have that there. So that's really neat, and I'm really, really happy that this App Store does it. Well, I call it an App Store, right? So besides that, you'll have the permissions tab here, and it even lets you know what kind of permissions it uses on your phone. Now, this is essential information, right? If you're key to your privacy and you want to know what your apps do, right, this is what you want to know, and this is what I'm really happy that it does, right? It lets you know exactly what it does. And if you're using 6.0 and above, they introduced a whole new permissions feature where you can give apps certain permissions to certain resources on your phone. So if an app needs contacts, right, so that it can recognize numbers and recognize, you know, the names on those numbers, you can either decide to not give it access to it or decide to. So that's one really unique thing about this app here, right, is that it helps, you know, promote all the essential information. Sorry about that. And yeah, you know, if you haven't been on 6.0 yet, I would suggest for you to, whoa, I didn't want to install this, I'm gonna stop that. Okay. And if you haven't installed 6.0, or if you don't have 6.0, I would consider maybe rooting. Maybe, hey, it's all you. Just consider it. But yeah, a lot of these ROMs, like CyanogenOS and all these other ones, are pretty much based on Marshmallow currently, and upgrading to NuGet. So if you want to access those permission settings, you could definitely do so there. Or yeah. And I'm a kind of like a root junkie in a way. I mean, I'm no expert. I'm no, you know, I'm not like a Linux admin, I guess, for Android. I don't have a long beard. I hardly have a hair on my chin. So, yeah, no, unfortunately, I don't know all the neat tricks when it comes to rooting, but I do know enough. I knew quite a bit. I port different ROMs onto it, to my phone. But I'm kind of digressing right now, so I'm going to go back to track. So besides permissions, right, you'll go down here, and one cool thing is that it shows you the different versions that it has currently on F-Droid. So that's pretty neat. So say if the recent version that you updated to doesn't work, well, now you can uninstall that one and then port the previous version back onto it. So that's really one cool thing about it, and you'll see a bunch of other versions are listed. But currently, since this is a new app, you know, there's only version 0.0. And yeah, so that's it for the what's new category. Now, if I were to go down here to recently updated, now you see all the apps that were updated and that are actively being monitored here, right? And you'll find an abundance of apps that do a wide variety of things. And like I said, well, I didn't say this, but if you're rooted, you'll find a lot of apps here, a lot of rooted apps here. So like one of the apps being Attaway, which I'll go into later, which I use myself. It blocks apps that are integrated within other apps. So I block ads. So that's really one really cool thing. And yeah, there's AF Wall, which is a firewall for your Android phone. And so that's pretty cool. Yeah, right here. Alright, so let me click this here actually. Now, one thing I really like about this app too is that it lets you know if the app promotes non-free stuff within it, or if there's in-app purchases, it'll let you know. So that's definitely pretty useful. And like I mentioned before, all the previous versions are here, and it'll let you know when they were added. So that's pretty cool. right? And yeah, you see it has a wide variety of apps. You have stuff for networking, you'll have stuff for programming, you'll have RSS feeds, you'll have clients like I came across this Reddit client, which was pretty good. Yeah, right here. Oh no, it's the widget. But yeah, there is a Reddit client here somewhere. But yeah, I highly suggest for you guys to check this out. I'm gonna leave the links down below, and then you'll have all the rest of the categories here. But I won't really be going into it because there's too much. Yeah, add-away is right here. Right, so that's that. So I'm gonna go now into the installed, right, tab. Now what this is, right, is that it'll list every single open source software that you have on your phone currently, but also apps that were installed through the Play Store. So it's not only showing you apps that were installed from F-Droid, but also from the Play Store. So definitely keep that in mind. So you see here, I have Firefox here, right, which is my main browser. So if I click here, you see it'll also give me other warnings too, right? So you see the upstream source code is not entirely free. This app tracks and reports your activity, and so you know if you're really all about your privacy and your security, that's definitely stuff you should know. And it'll list here the current version that it has. Yeah, and this is, I'm gonna go into these a little more after this, just going through the few open source apps that I use on my phone currently. I haven't installed all of them because I recently restored my phone due to me tinkering with my system and effing it up a bit. This is actually the third time this week. My fault. So, but whatever, I'm pretty used to it. I pretty much distro hop and like ROM hop. Don't know if that's a thing, but I'm naming it. I'm ROM hopping. Yeah, so yeah, I'm pretty much used to the restoring and, you know, reinstalling applications. No biggie for me. And yes, I know I can back up with Titan Backup or backing up with any other software, but I end up deleting everything, even within my systems folder, data folder, everything like that. So everything is wiped out. So whatever, it is what it is. I'm cool with it. But yeah, moving along. Now you'll have the update tab. Now this will show you all the recent updates that are available for the apps that you installed through F-Droid. Now it could also include the updates for apps that you've installed through the Play Store. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, so that's just a neat little tab here. Right, you also have a refresh button here. You can search through here for all the apps without having to go to the categories here. And yeah, let me go into the settings. So one cool thing you'll have here is the swap apps. Now what's just really cool about this is that you can use Wi-Fi or Bluetooth to swap apps through F-Droid, right, with another person, or if they're nearby. So that's really neat. Another cool thing is that you can check the repos, so the repositories that are currently active on F-Droid. So I have the F-Droid repositories here, right? But also I can activate the Guardian project repos. I'm not really quite sure what the Guardian project is. I think, I'm not quite sure. I could be entirely wrong. I'm pretty sure I'm wrong. It relates to the Guardian, was it the newspaper? Yeah, I could be entirely wrong. I'm not really quite sure, but I think it relates to that. Don't know. You could definitely look into that. But yeah, you can access their library of apps there too. Whether they're open source or not, I'm really quite sure. Not really quite sure. And another cool thing is that you can even add your own repos, right? So you just provide the link. Fingerprint, not really quite sure what that means, but yeah, there's that. And yeah, you see you could share F-Droid through Bluetooth, so you can even share the app itself. that's pretty neat. So I'm gonna go to the settings here. All right, so you have stuff like you can limit it through only Wi-Fi, automatically download updates. Yeah, you can limit this app. Now I normally do use the dark theme, so we'll put that dark. Yeah, and you can even choose what kind of apps it provides. I don't know what it does. And you can even decide to use Tor. So if you were extra paranoid about your security, you can definitely use Tor. I'm not saying use it, just saying that that option's there. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, there you go. Alright, so that's really it for that. Alright, then the about. Brief information about the current version I have. You see the GitHub URL is here. You can also contact the developer here, the developer team rather, and then also the website. So I'll be providing these links down below. Check them out, guys. Now let me just go into a few of the apps that I use myself. Didn't want to open that. Just want to check the time real quick. And damn it, I really trying to hoping to keep this video within 15 minutes, and I never seem to do it. Whatever. So one cool app here, right? Besides Firefox, it's JumpGo. Now what this is, it's a open source browser. Now you can install this through the Play Store, which I did myself, and it's based on the Chromium browser. So this is actually why I installed it. And it's completely open source. You can do stuff like you can use Tor through it, so you can do your Tor browsing there. Yeah, it's pretty neat, and it's 100% open source. All right, so links there, source code, yada yada yada, so on and so forth. Right, pretty neat, pretty cool. So if you want to get that Chromium experience without using Google Chrome on your Android phones, there you go. Right, so besides that, one app that I've been using as my main email client is F9 Mail. Right, so this app is a mailing client. It supports Outlook, Hotmail, Gmail, you name it. Whatever it is, it supports it. It supports POP3, IMAP, and all those standards related to emailing. So it's pretty cool. I've been using it for a while now. For quite a bit actually, and it's still actively updated, as you see here. Right, so it has really good reviews for the most part. You can install this also on the Play Store, so definitely check that out. And yeah, I'm gonna be making a separate video about this application because I really like it, and yeah, I wanted to share this with you guys, and I'll also be showing how to use it with if you use Gmail. There's an option for those people who want that extra sense of security. It's called two-step verification, and I'll show you how to use it within this mail client, but also it'll also transition for other clients in general, so for desktop clients like Thundermail and all the other jazz, you can use this step process for over there as well. But yeah, so definitely keep an eye out for that video. And another cool thing about K9 Mail, right, which I saw, is that within the settings it actually asks you if you use OpenKeychain encryption. Now what this is an open source encrypting software, right? So you can encrypt files within your folder, within your phone. Yeah, this application is pretty cool. I haven't used it yet. I've been researching it, I've downloaded it, played around with it. But I haven't actually encrypted something. I was just seeing what it's about. It's pretty neat from what I see. You can encrypt your K9 Mail. You can encrypt your conversations, password store, as password store, and yeah, and more. So it's pretty neat. Yeah, I'll be making a video about this too, because I just think it's pretty awesome. You see, you can exchange keys via NFC, so that's pretty cool. Not really sure if that's security, security-wise. I don't know if that's pretty reliant using NFC for that, but hey, I don't know. I'm not an expert. Yeah, it's pretty actively supported, so You know, if you want to encrypt files, you can definitely use this. I'll be making a video about this sometime for the next 3 weeks, 4 weeks, if not a little longer. Once the semester's over, I'll be able to get my brain back to one piece, and I'll be able to just, you know, continue with this whole YouTube thing. And yeah, I mean, the rest of these applications really I don't really use. OpenWin is, I think it's just the keyboard that comes pre-installed with Oxygen OS. I don't even use the Oxygen OS keyboard to see here. So yeah, I'm not really sure why that is there, but yeah, TalkBack, I don't use it either. It just comes pre-installed for us Android users. That's the accessibility features for people with disabilities. So if they're visually impaired, or you know, they're blind, then they'll be using this app. So, you know, you won't have to pay much attention to that. And I'm not really sure what that is, but I'm not really quite sure. Okay. Didn't install it myself. It came pre-installed within Oxygen OS, but good to know that it's open source. I should really look more into that. And yeah, that's really it, guys. That's really it. Check this app out. Links down below. Pretty neat. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. Okay. And yeah, oh, it looks like I got an update. Let's go here. There you go, for the app itself. So we'll be updating that soon. And yeah, guys, so yeah, I'll see you in the next video.